Forza Horizon 6, you know what this is. The title kind of explains itself, and if your question is regarding the performance of the game, no, I don't think you should worry. This was just released. ROG Ally support, Steam Deck support, FSR 3 and 4, Intel's equivalent, DLSS, 1080-60 on a 1650. That's pretty good. So no, if you were talking about that, no, I don't think you should worry. But let's talk about the new thing. Remember that purple Lamborghini clip right at the beginning that I've been showing for so long? Being like, oh my god, Rush looks pretty good. This is Horizon Rush, and it's honestly not what I expected. Okay, just to clear the air a little bit, I am not saying you should be worried about Horizon Rush, okay? I genuinely think overall the game is looking very positive, and Forza Horizon 6 is going to be Racing Game of the Year, very likely. IGN, stamp of approval. But I'm a realist. I want to give you the reality of the situation. This is a time trial. Horizon Rush is a time trial. And the way they framed it, to be fair, it makes sense. So the big showcase events, you know, with the big shoes that come, the big robot we're going to be racing, that is expensive. is the ultimate way is what I'm hearing from these developers. They're saying that people didn't really replay showcases. We had to force them to do it. And so these are a way to change that, to make it more of a time trial that's replayable and you want to try and get the best score. Very Dirt-esque. Dirt, like, has forever done things like this, especially in the later Dirt games. This is so, like, recognizable in that way. But part of the guy working on this actually worked on all of the showcase events. So, okay, just to be clear, though, a little bit disappointed. There are 2 showcase events. So the big robot one, and we're probably going to race a bullet train. And I do sympathize with it. It is a really just spectacle, a big event that people have to spend a lot of time creating. And it's for a one-off. Feels a little bit lost. It's spending all that time and money and 5 events that you don't replay. Can we cut the budget and make some smaller ones? That's kind of what we've got here, right? And it's genuine. Like, I don't remember any of the showcases that were available in Forza Horizon 5. I played them 5 years ago by this point and didn't touch them again. And look, overall, moving on from that topic completely, I do want to give a bit of a deep dive as to how it stands with Forza Horizon 6 and my opinion, my preferences, how I'm feeling about the game as a whole going forward into the release, because it's been a little jarring is probably the best way I can describe it. IGN has done a pretty terrible job here. Not to say this is all on IGN, because the realness is IGN may have had an idea, but it was clearly influenced by Playground themselves as to what to actually show. But I can't really blame Playground Games for the encoding, recording situation of IGN. The fact that they've ruined pretty much every visual shot, showing it at 30 frames, seemingly recording in HDR and then trying to force fix the colors afterwards, and it still looks a little flat and weird. Whoever is encoding these videos and whatever they're doing wrong, it has really not done a very good job here. After that first initial video that looked stunning, got to the point, told you everything you need to know. This is bizarre for Forza, showcasing all the individual elements, but we've not had like an E3 time this year where normally that type of thing is rolled out. I mean, the game was announced officially like end of last year and revealed early this year, so it's just completely different overall. But I think IGN has done kind of irreversible damage here. I think getting a look into the game, people have realized, and maybe this is for the better, that Forza Horizon 6 is Forza Horizon 5 in Japan. And like, that's kind of what most of us expected. We expected some improvements, like for example, when they downshift in this, a little nice little detail. Very cute, very sweet. Bigger map, more cars, some modified customization to improve upon issues they've had for the longest time. But all in, like, this is a 2-year cycle game packaged into what is a 5-6 year cycle because of the fact of, you know, politics. The world is the carry. It looks awesome, and I cannot wait to explore every intricate detail of this stunning, stunning world. Oh, by far the biggest carry. No question, best thing they've done. Like, obviously, the dream of a Japan Forza is here, and that should be something that's screamed from the mountaintops. It is here. It's happening. Forza Horizon 5's map is going in the bin. That is the biggest complaint that I see with Forza Horizon 5. There's very little complaints elsewhere. They're like, the map is boring if they're really into it. And that's where I get really conflicted and confused by a lot of the reaction. Now, I'm one that's always like, it's funny. Some people will genuinely come to you and be like, he's the biggest Forza hater in the world. I absolutely adore Forza Horizon 1. Forza Horizon 2 is the reason I bought a damn Xbox. So that's a downright lie, quite honestly. I just know from my own thoughts and feelings that what we've got here, and will forever have, is Microsoft likes to play it incredibly safe. They like to make a game and keep with that game for a very long time. Any significant changes to that formula threatens the very existence of that formula. If it's the biggest IP Microsoft has, especially right now, if they do any significant changes to how it works, if they said, okay, from now on, Forza has 100 cars, a real core of the fan base, I think, would be insanely angry. They're scared of a backlash. This is why it was always really good to have a choice between Forza and Need for Speed. Need for Speed did the customization, and Forza clearly did everything else better to the majority of people. Yeah, I also like the story in Need for Speed, and I like arcade. I like a proper, just no-nonsense arcade racing game. That's what I liked. And so Need for Speed was like the package for me. I think some people fell for the marketing trap of like something like this. This was never going to be the level of customization available for all cars when they have 900 million cars in the game. It's just not going to happen. That, I don't think, is an issue on their side. I think they explained it pretty well. I said it from the beginning, and people still came to my content shocked that this is a car that you can only change the color and the wheels on. Okay, you can customize it, but like, I would rather, like Need for Speed said back in the day, Need for Speed Rivals, I feel like coined the term into my brain. Personalization is not customization. Personalization is where you can, you know, make it a little bit yours. Do a livery. You paint the wheels, change the wheels. You do a little bit of jarring us the other way again. This, incredibly positive. People are actually really excited about this. I've seen the garage customization, but it's been dawned upon people that the fact that the car customization is not improved hugely, but the garage one is, people are like, why do they spend all the time doing this? In this case, it's pretty simple. They had the tool to like already place props and items and stuff in the game, so why not let you do it in a garage space? Kind of makes sense. Anyway, all is to say, I'm genuinely still excited about Forza Horizon 6, and I think most people are. It is hard to ignore a lot of how the community is reacting to a lot of it. It's very jarring, like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And also then the complete opposite side where people are like, it's over. And as I said, it's kind of interesting that they've released so much information, and there's definitely going to be changes into how they market things going forward in the future of a Forza game. I think they are really going to do, I'd say, some significant changes going forward, but the difference is that it looks like it's going to come from them now. They themselves will get to do the announcing, and again, not to put it all on IGN, there is a real reality that both of them collaborated on what they wanted to showcase. But, you know, IGN having the exclusive, it was down to their editorial kind of focus as to way that this was pulled. I don't know who paid who, because this is a marketing kind of rollout. My hope is kind of that IGN paid Playground to do the reveal, but that's probably not how it worked. I think that would be a best case scenario for everyone involved. But if it's actually the other way around, where they gave IGN some money to create some spiel on this stuff, I don't know what the hell went on there. Because again, I've said it previously, they could have gone to any like YouTubers and got them to do it for nothing. But of course, I'm not saying it just for my own sake. It could be any other YouTuber that exists on the planet that does Forza, because there's a hell of a lot of us. And honestly, I think they would do a much better job explaining in detail what this game has and what there hasn't. In a much better way than IGN has. And what I hope is that the likeliness is that a bunch of YouTubers may soon be invited to play the game and do some of their own capture and really showcase individual elements that the viewers actually want to see. We know what you guys want to see a hell of a lot more than IGN does. Again, not saying that I'm going to get access. I don't really have a great track record of getting to the early access, but hey, I usually get a code by launch, which means I can showcase the really cool stuff I'm looking forward to in this game. And I'm going to put some credit onto the name and say that the customization's actually going to be pretty good and better than it was previous. I think people are underestimating the amount of effort that is required for them to do the Forza Aero dedicated to every single car. I'm not saying it is as good as Need for Speed. It will, again, I don't think ever be as good as Need for Speed. Need for Speed has like 10 cars. But the choice would be less cars, more customization, more cars, less customization. And Forza has forever, ever kept that formula of focusing on having a lot of cars. I did make a list the other day before I saw these new events added to the game, kind of picking out what we haven't seen. The showcase events was actually one of them. Well, there you go. Sorry, Rush showcase. You know, there's 2 showcases. That's kind of crazy. These are now being filling the gaps. So, you know, enjoy them or else. I really think someone needs to come in and show the progression. Show us how it works. Play a little bit of the game. I was kind of expecting to see maybe that from IGN, or at least a description as to what you can expect progression-wise. We didn't get any of that. I get that they want to have an artistical, like, someone says, this is what we think people want to see. This is the new stuff people want to see. Let's show the new stuff. Cool, I get it. But then, who came up with that Celine video? There's no way that someone was like, yes, the Celine is what I'm going to drive around Japan. We're going to drive very slowly. We're going to turn down the traffic. It's like they just stuck their fingers in their ears or their Turtle Beach headsets and went, la, 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 la. I'm going to show you what the fuck I want to show you. And another thing I really want to see, and they keep mentioning subtly, and I hope that we'll see soon, is the characters. Because the characters are really like a bit of a make or break feel for me, to be completely honest. Previously, they've treated us like massive babies, and they drain me. They actually drain me hearing them talk. It's not just Forza. It's kind of all games in general as of recent. Like, if we have Jamin return, no, please. I hope Jamin doesn't step foot here. I hope he's scared away. I hope he's grounded. That man needs to leave me alone. But I think it all links to this really kind of messy, long development cycle we've had. Normally, as I say, it takes like 2 years to make a Horizon game. That's not been the case for any games for a while now. And that's ignoring the fact that they've had to rebuild an engine for Forza for the new generation. Again, this is something they had to do. They've done it. The hard work is kind of now done, and there might be a chance that we actually speed up here now in terms of releases. The things that we like, the things that we dislike, the things we hate, love, whatever about Forza Horizon, they had to retool those. They had to rebuild them. They had to at least make them work on the new engine in a hopefully fresh way. Game development has always been so wasteful. Again, just bounce it to Need for Speed. There's so many tools they would build and then just scrap after one game. Stupid. Sloppy. I don't get why games do this. That's a real frustration I think I have with games overall. They just really are so wasteful. I think that's just a people thing, right? It's a people thing. Maybe it's partly gamers to blame, because a lot of us will look at a tree and be like, wow, they had a fucking tree here, and that tree, I saw it in Forza Horizon 3. I don't care, it's a tree, man! There can't genuinely be an actual worry of that. If the car models, they've been replaced now a little bit, you fixed some of them. But if the car models have been reused since the beginning of time, I am not complaining about a tree or a texture or anything. I do not care. Garage customization. So, let me summarize this for you. The IGN rollout has been leaning on terrible. We have learned some pretty cool features about Forza Horizon 6 throughout the time though, and I'm genuinely looking forward to moments like this, the new creation tools in places that it wasn't before. Look at this, my garage. This is Test Drive. When Test Drive is failing to do this, that is a significant feat. This is a beautiful feature that I expected another game to do first, but they didn't. If you are like me and you have a realistic approach to this game and you're expecting Forza Horizon 5 with some new cars, a brand new location, the new engine, which again, feel-wise, tends to improve how the game feels. Like Forza Motorsport actually feels really nice. You expected some improvements to customization, not a mass amount of changes to customization. Some really cool, crazy cars that are the Forza cars. And most importantly, you've been looking forward to seeing what the new progression is like. Come on, play your games, please show us. I think you're in for a nice experience here. I'm looking forward to it. If you were looking to have Need for Speed in Japan with a Forza physics system That was absolutely never going to happen. I never uttered such a word. Playground never uttered such a word. And I think, unfortunately, you, my friend, just hyped yourself up for, I don't know what. It's just not a thing. So I would say I'm excited for Forza Horizon 6. I have realistic expectations, and I will likely enjoy the progression. And that's kind of what I was expecting Forza Horizon 6 to be. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Because, you know, maybe I'm the odd one out here. Maybe I'm just on some copium. Because you know me, as I said, I'm honest. I'm open. Let's have a conversation. But, you know, maybe reel it in a little bit if you're, like, thinking, oh, I'm so disappointed because I thought it was going to be the best, biggest, most beautiful neons underglow game ever. Police. I thought they were going to add police and petrol stations. Where did that come from?